Is Luka Vuskovic the best centre-back prospect on the planet? In September 2023, Spurs agreed a deal with Hajduk Split for a talented young centre-back, Luka Vuskovic. Vuskovic made his senior debut 2 days after turning 16 for his Croatian club. Since signing though, he's been loaned out to Polish club Radom last season and now Westerlo in the Belgian top flight, where he's made a very impressive start to the season so far. This video will outline what our young centre-back does so well and why he's so highly rated. It will also look at what he may need to work on to become a mainstay in the Spurs side in the future. But before we get into that, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment on what you'd like to see me analyse next. Please also follow me on X, @LilyWhiteLab, for more analytical Spurs content. But without further ado, let's get into it. So what are Luka Vuskovic's main strengths? First, we'll look at his defensive game. Despite being just 17, Vuskovic is already a physical specimen. He stands at 6'4", but with a pretty athletic frame that he's grown into already. This physicality means he can easily hold his own in duels, with even the most physical, experienced strikers. This is the case both aerially and on the ground, where he's able to shrug players off and come away with possession when he's touched tight. Or he's able to leap above them and clear the ball with his head. These aerials are where he shines especially. With an athletic body to match an already tall defender, it's almost impossible for him to lose an aerial ball. At such a young age, he's so dominant in these duels, where he never really looks out of his depth physically. He thrives off contact and using his body. With this in mind, I describe him as a bit of an old school defender. He likes to step up and apply pressure even if that's on the halfway line. As you'd expect with a young defender, he doesn't always time this well and can sometimes be that second too late where he can be turned and leave gaps behind him, but I expect his timing to develop with his experience. Vuskovic is also a fantastic box defender. He snuffs out danger like a man who's played 10 years at the highest level. He reads the bounce consistently well and never looks rushed or panicked. He carries the kind of composure that a backline leader should, which helps calm the rest of his back four. His clearances are well timed, which means they're reliable and with conviction. In fact, Vuskovic's demeanour and mentality as a whole is what impresses me so much. He's just so commanding for a player of his age. In every action, whether that's defensively or in possession, he oozes both composure but also solidity. He never seems fazed by much and is level-headed. For me, his clear main weakness is his lack of agility, which is often the price you pay for such a strong and tall player. If he's able to get touch tight, he's often fine as he can shift the opponent off the ball. However, if the attacker gains that slight bit of separation from him, his feet speed to change direction often doesn't match that of a speedy winger or striker. This means he can be vulnerable in the channels when 1v1. Now, if Vuskovic does feel exposed, his way of dealing with this is often to back off and essentially wait for backup. At times this can be too passive though, and give the attacker time to wind up a shot or a dangerous pass. Although I do think this will continue to be a slight weakness in his game, I think as his timing improves, he'll be able to reach attackers quicker and not give them a chance to gain that momentum to turn him. It's about knowing when to get touch tight and when to step off. Being caught in the middle is often where problems can arise. Once Vuskovic gets going, he's not slow, but again that acceleration is a slight weakness, so his ability to play a high line could be questioned. However, his positioning and game intelligence is so strong that I can see him being able to get around this. Having a perfect body position and knowing when to turn will enable him to manage this. So that's Vuskovic defensively in a nutshell. An incredibly physical centre-back, an aerial monster who wins almost every header, a real leader who consistently provides calm and reliability, and a top box defender. His weaknesses are that of his agility and acceleration, which I still feel he can master with consistent development of his positioning and timing, which is already at a good level. Let's now look at Vuskovic in possession. First of all, although he is primarily right-footed, the Croatian's left foot is almost just as strong. I can't stress enough how much this does for a defender's ability to play out of the back. It allows him angles into both sides of the pitch, which makes him less predictable and therefore less easy to press. Vuskovic almost already has a trademark pass, and it's that lofted switch from centre-back to one of the flanks, which he's continually improving with the consistency of. His ball striking technique is clean. He not only has that flat ping in his locker, but also a more wrapped curled pass, which he often will play down the flank for his near side winger to run onto. But it's not only these types of passes he makes, he's also able to make the more cutting, sharp, line breaking passes too. those pinpoint passes into midfield that can break a press rapidly. His bravery matched with his technique means the execution is often perfect and at the right time too. As a ball progressor, he's certainly more of a passer than a dribbler, which in my eyes is always preferred. After all, the ball always moves quicker than any player. However, to bait a press, he could improve his ball manipulation slightly to add more strings to his bow in terms of progression, although his carrying is already at a pretty decent level. One extra thing that has been doing the rounds is his goal scoring, which this season has been almost freakish. He has 4 league goals already this season in just 11 games. If you've watched this video, it's probably quite obvious why that is. A player of his technique matched with his physical build means he's a huge threat in the box. From set pieces, he wins a lot aerially, but he's also pretty sharp when the ball is bouncing in and around the box. He gets a split second to strike it at goal and he'll take it. He also has excellent ball striking from distance, something you're unlikely to see in a high possession valuing side like ours, but still something to mark that demonstrates his technique. Overall though, Luka Vuskovic is an insane talent. In terms of the 3 main categories I look for in a footballer, he ticks all of them: technique, physicality, and mentality. If he can just work on his slight issues with agility and channel defending, I really don't see many weaknesses in his game. To say that about a 17-year-old defender is almost unheard of. I'm very sure he'll be a mainstay in the Tottenham defence for years to come, and I can see him breaking into the first team sooner rather than later. Thanks for watching. For more analysis like this, please follow me on X @LilyWhiteLab. Comment down below what you'd like to see me analyse next.